Hey guys, this is Jamie. So today I'm absolutely destroyed because I haven't had energy in weeks, and frankly, I'm even surprised I can put my makeup on. But without further ado, I wanted to talk about a very beloved topic of mine, which is pretty much the fact that I still feel that when it comes to gay couples, I mean, like between gay men, I still feel like the pattern of heteronormativity is very rampant, and that's not good. I feel like it's certainly meant to be a way to make us deem more normal and presentable and acceptable in society. And I always find that very, very bizarre. So I wanted to dive a bit deeper on it. But the thing that started me this actually wasn't what I'm about to talk about, but it was sort of in my head. Like I was just browsing Reddit, and in general, I don't agree with people saying that gays have suffered all the time, so we don't want to see homophobia in movies, TV shows, books, and it's a load of crap. Like, sure, let's have happy movies, but let's not have absolutely empty shells of movies like Heartstopper, or TV shows in this case. So it is very bizarre. Like, while I do understand that a lot of gay people feel guilt for being that way. And factually, obviously, I've also had guilt in the past of accepting of being a man and being into men. So I do understand that, but I feel like it being a sort of very vocal point and a point of agreement in the community is something I'm very highly against, and it is my unpopular opinion, I guess. And that just further shows that everyone just wants this normality, which we're being sold uh, nearly as a sort of a nuclear family package. So yeah, so I'm like, well, if you want to listen to Bowlby's nuclear family idea, go ahead, but there's plenty of studies to criticize that. So the thing that caught my attention today was the fact that people on Grindr, on Reddit, and in general, I've seen it as well. There's plenty of trans women on Grindr, and I always found that weird because, well, Grindr is a place factually for men, cis and trans, not for women. But I do understand that since that happened historically, in the history of Grindr, rather, I've kind of learned to live with it. And I still find it weird that specific posts go up like about trans women looking for trans women and they would block any men. And this is where it gets weird in my opinion. Like, if you're a lesbian, why are you looking for other lesbians on Grindr, or woman into other woman? And in general, I feel like this whole idea of trying to make gay people be normal, kind of, I started trying to piece like a sort of, not theory, but a sort of logical explanation in my head But in general, there has been obviously a lot more transphobia in the gay community towards trans people. At the same time, we're experiencing this absolutely bonkers um, heteronormativity push onto gay couples, like to put gays like into top bottom. There isn't as much verse sides. Okay, sides are kind of growing a bit, but it still feels like everyone tries to make like someone's like more sporty, someone's more femme, uh, someone does the cooking, someone watches sports, and then they both strive to have children from a surrogate, not even adoption. And it just feels as if gay couples are supposed to have the same brainworms as straight people in this case. And I'm sorry for wording it this way. And then you have the other flip coin, where you have trans couples which see this bullshit and then just go like trans for trans and do it as a statement, which becomes sort of kind of not fighting fire with fire, but it becomes very weird. It becomes a sort of anarchy with no reason, just to say that you're against something else with no specific reason, and you're fighting sort of with similar means, just the ideology is different. So that kind of got me thinking a lot. And then, if to expand further upon the pattern of heteronormativity upon gay couples, we had that more. Well, I knew about it more obviously because trans men were often grouped with lesbians, and thankfully now there's more awareness that butch are really trans men in denial. So now I feel like we're going a bit regressive here when it comes to gay men, and I do understand that I'm literally sitting here in makeup. And I enjoyed cross-dressing in the past, uh, sexually, and I enjoy drag, and but that's the thing. Like, to me, it was a role play. It was submission. It was certain things, sort of roles, sort of hyperboles to accept my body at the time. And this is where I want to say that I'm not saying very specific statements, um, and I'm not trying to say that I'm very eloquent. And in general, in this video, anything which goes outside of gay men and trans men is not something that I am the best on, and I shouldn't be taking at face value. I'm just discussing this because I'm not okay with heteronormativity and the fact that people tend to sort of push gay couples into the heteronormativity is what I'm against. And this is why I'm making this video or discussion. So then you have like femboys, which I understand is like a massive umbrella term, because you have a trans woman there, or who discover that they're a trans woman in denial. You have non-binary people. You just have actual men who just prefer this term. And I do understand completely that I am very rigid and I'm very old-fashioned when it comes to my own terminologies. Like, I do not use the word feminine for my makeup. I do not like the term femboy, and it's not even really applicable to myself. But like, I would use cross-dresser when I would cross-dress, or when I cross-register. I haven't done it in a while, so it's kind of weird to say it in present term. And I do identify with transsexual instead of transgender. Trans, I feel like it's an umbrella term, so I'm fine with it. But sometimes I still feel like, obviously, new terminology is fine and everyone should use, and I respect everyone's terminology, but it still feels like, uh, sometimes it feels like new terminology is invented just to escape certain things. So sort of like, I don't know, this whole femboy umbrella term gives me a bit of butch terminology from the lesbian vocabulary of the past or turfs. So I don't want to say that every femboy is problematic, but I still feel like a lot of femboys are factually eggs, and there's nothing wrong with that. And but then it goes into sort of like, is this gay? Is this not gay? And that is a very valid conversation, because people go into relationships, and the relationship uh, goes through transformations at times, or changes. Like, you can be dating a woman, then without knowing it, and then they come out, and yes, now you're like in a straight relationship, and then you discover your sexuality or something. So there's, I don't even truly believe that people wouldn't be attracted to a person uh, if everything aligns. A gender is not a make or break. That is my honest opinion, and even though I say that I'm gay, like, if to like properly sit me down and let me explain my sexuality fully, then I would say I am very much into men. For me, it really doesn't matter trans or cis, and I really hate specifying that. And I'm also like very into non-binary, but non-binary is like a small percentage of my attraction, and when it hits, it hits. And also, it's very sort of, I it's very strange, because I've never really been very attracted to like trans femme or trans masc. It's always like genderqueer, androgynous, bigender. So it's always like in that area, agender. So it either has to be like something else, to put it, sort of away from the feminine masculine scale, ish. And and yeah, like, I've also like thought about using, I have used queer for my sexuality for a while, but then kind of like, then it goes into terminology of like explaining certain things to people, and that is, sometimes I just can't be bothered, and I just feel like gay is more applicable, because uh, men are the majority, that I'm into. It's a part of who I am, but at the same time, um, yeah. So if we sit down every person just like that, they will have their own answer, and people then tend to focus on their past. Like, people actually have regrets that they've slept with men, slept with women, and I don't think that should be heavily judged as much. And there is no right way to be gay, no right way to be bi, and no one should be pressured into the labels. You should be using the label you feel confident, comfortable in. So at the same time, I understand that in this video I am saying that I'm not comfortable. Like, I feel like there should be more discussion, and I understand that maybe if a certain gay couple feels comfortable in this heteronormative template, then who am I to judge? But at the same time, I just feel that in this current climate, it's something like, for instance, that me and my partner were discussing, because my partner participates a lot in, like, when I brainstorm certain ideas for a video. And he was like, well, certain trans people, like, they stay stealth, and they don't want to be active about their rights, even though they're taken away. And I was like, yeah, we shouldn't judge them, obviously. But at the same time, of course, I'm gonna say, if you can, think about what you're doing. So it's a very interesting ethical line of, you shouldn't be dictating things to other people, and neither should you be making harm. So I do feel like when a gay couple becomes heteronormative and says, yes, I'm the woman in the relationship, I'm the bottom, I'm the top, and enforces these stereotypes that are very harmful, and wants the straight people to sort of think that we are their normal, isn't the way to go. Like, I really don't think that discussing what we do in the bedroom is a thing that needs to be discussed. Like, we don't need to say top or bottom, but at the same time, I'm pro kink at Pride. Like, we need to remember our story, and that we're not hetero. Like, those that aren't hetero won't be hetero. Of course, sexuality is fluid and all that. But we need to also understand that there are certain things, like, for instance, like, most butch understood, I mean, at least I hope most butch, that they're actually non-binary or transmasculine trans men. And I kind of get worried again, because I come from that side. I see, like, femboy, new terminology, everything, blah blah blah. It's not like cross-dressing where you put on an ensemble, you do it, and you take it off, and that's for sexual pleasure. Uh, so yeah. So that's where I feel like when things go beyond sexual pleasure, per definition, you should really think about your gender identity. And whatever is between your legs does not dictate your gender and sex. And it's stupid that I even have to say this. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was to your liking. Thank you very much for your support. And if you like this video, please give it a like. Please feel free to share. I am always very happy when people share my video. Find a friend over it for like it. So yeah, feel free to drop any comments, and I'm always happy to read comments, like, subscribe, coffees maybe. Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, let's hope I'll just have energy next week. Thank you.